Welcome back to the James McGee Show. I am your host. I am James McGee. Well, fellow Republicans, it happened last night. It absolutely happened. We got our TTs spanked last night. We got whooped. Every box, every state. And I'm going to go through this, but it's our own fault. I know that most of the elections that happened were going to be won by Democrats anyway, but we got problems. And if we sit around and act like we don't have problems, next year is going to be a bad day for us at the midterms. Let's talk about New York. Now, we expect New York to elect a Democrat. They're going to be Democrat. There's no more possibility ever with the change in dynamics. And after this clown is through with this city, there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from it. And I don't care about New York, but it's about how it's going to affect the rest of the country and how it's going to trickle down. And I don't like what I'm seeing. Let's talk about him a little bit. He's a radical Islamist, extremist, never done anything. Man's never had a job. Never had a job. Ran for state assembly in his 20s. He hates America. Have you ever heard this man say one thing nice about America? He came here from another country, hates America, and wants to change the fabric of America. He hasn't hidden that fact. He has not hidden the fact that he hates his country and he wants to change it to like the country, Uganda, that he left, a third world country. That's what people like him want to do. They want to change the landscape and the fabric of this country, and we are letting them. And I'm going to explain how I feel like we are letting them in a little bit. He won't be able to do the things that he says. There's no way he can give free food and all this other stuff and housing. There's no way he can do it, but he sold it well. The Democrats are a propaganda machine, and man, they sold it well. But he's not going to be able to do it. But when he can't do it, what he's going to do is he's going to blame Albany. He's going to blame DC. And I tried to do it, I couldn't do it. He knew damn well the things that he's saying he's going to do, he knows damn well he can't do. But it got him elected. And he talks well, and man, he's a scary dude, man. He is a scary dude. So New York, congratulations. You just gave control of your city. You know, 9/11 was almost 25 years ago. 9/11 was the biggest terrorist attack in our nation in New York City by radical Islamic extremists. And you just elected a radical Islamic extremist as your city's mayor. Congratulations, New York. You really, really fucked up on this one. So Omar Feta, he's going to win. He's going to run off. But really nothing's going to change. They're such a liberal, they're controlled by that group already. It's kind of funny that Jacob Fry, who's one of the worst mayors in the nation, is going to be ousted by the people that he has been kissing the ass of, the group of people that is getting him out. He has been kissing the Somalia's ass, and a Somalian runs against him. Did he think they were going to support him? So good for you, Jacob Fry, you dumb fuck. I'm happy about that, but Omar Feta is they call him the Mondami. I call him Mondami, the Mondami of the Midwest. So congratulations, Minneapolis, which is a total shithole. Look at George Floyd. Look at their governor, Tim Walz. So what really is concerning me more than anything is the other states. Now, most of them are blue, but man, we just got our ass beat. It wasn't even close. It was just a spanking. And it shows that we better wake up. Jay Johnson won the Attorney General of Virginia very handedly. That's concerning because people ignored what the kind of man he is. It was well known. I mean, the text messages, he wants his opponent, he wants his political enemies dead. He wants his political enemies kids dead, and him have to watch, and him and his wife have to watch his kids dying. How sick of a man is that? He got elected. How does this happen in this country? How do people like that get elected? This was a message sent to us, and we better receive the message. It was a united front with the Democrats to come after us. And it wasn't about these menial, in their eyes, these menial mayor's elections and attorney generals and, governor of these states are, a big deal to have Republican or Democrat governors to each party. It matters to them. But there was a united front. It was just like MAGA, like we were last year with MAGA. That's what they did. They took it a page of our playbook and played us. You could just feel the energy that they had, just like the MAGA energy last year. The energy was just phenomenal. I don't want to compliment them, but you can't. They beat us. We have to learn how they beat us. They created an energy. And I've said this for years when I used to do elections. The person that's going to win is the person who creates the energy around their candidate. They created energy around some complete, terrible, evil people. So they created the energy and they won. So how did they do it? They outsmarted us. They absolutely outsmarted us. Think about it. What has Democrats ever done? What have they ever accomplished? They don't ever think about the things. Trump has done a phenomenal job. We'll get to that in a second. But Trump has done a phenomenal job. Because he has done such a phenomenal job, look what the Democrats have done. They do nothing but create confusion. They do nothing but convince people how bad it is. Look at all their platforming, how bad you're being treated, how much of a victim you are, and this, and then you need us to come and feed you and house you, do all this stuff. But what did they ever accomplish? What policies have they ever put in place that actually works? It doesn't. But what they do, they take a page, they're communists. So the king of the godfather, they call him the godfather of communism, Karl Marx. This is what Karl Marx said. Say your enemy is doing what you were doing while you were doing it to create confusion. So all the stuff that they are accusing Republicans of doing and accusing Donald Trump of doing, they're doing it. That's what they are doing. They were absolutely doing it. Look at the liberals. A liberal kills Charlie Kirk. What happens? The Democrats use the sick, disgusting, filthy animals, use his death to their advantage. It starts making up all these things about Charlie that just weren't true. Instead of mourning the death of a young man, instead of mourning the death of a young father, they used it to create an energy. They used they used it against us. While we were mourning, they were capitalizing, and we had a right to mourn. We should mourn a young conservative was killed. But while we were doing that, they were using his death for political gain. And it worked. Then they go and create this no kings nonsense. All out of nowhere. Because Donald Trump has not done anything except what he said he was going to do and what we elected him to do. Good morning, Tyler. Yeah, you're late, Tyler. You can catch up later. Donald Trump has done nothing but what we elected him to do. 77% of the nation wanted the immigration crisis solved. He solved it in a couple months. Look what he's done with the wars. Look what he has done with just the peace in the Middle East. They are fearful of that. They are fearful of that. So what they've done is create confusion, talk about this no king stuff. That made absolute no sense. It makes sense now, doesn't it? Because that's why they were doing it. Because see, these elections are not about the elections right now. It's about one thing, creating energy and the Democrats to come take the ball back and get this momentum. It's about the midterms next year. That's exactly what it's about. And right now, they have the momentum. They absolutely showed last night that they have the momentum. I don't know why it does this. All of a sudden, I got fireworks showing in the background. I guess a word that I say cues it. I don't know. The government shutdown. Anybody that doesn't see what this was about, I guarantee you the government's going to be open by the end of the week, because the Democrats don't care about anybody but their politics and anybody but their power. They were using this. They created this shutdown, right? And did a very good job at convincing the American people, the American voter, that Donald Trump shut it down. He didn't shut it down. That Donald Trump was trying to take their health care. Donald Trump was trying to do this. And they did very well. You know, the polls were showing that Democrats were losing steam. Well, not polls that happened last night didn't show that. I believe in the ballot box more than polls. I am a firm believer in scientific polls. Ballot box is the biggest poll, and last night shows that the Democrats have momentum. They used this government shutdown. Their goal was to take the ball back, and they fucking did, temporarily, because we can get the ball back. We just have to do a better job, and here is where we are messing up. So it brings me to Mama Luke of the day. And if you're joining for the first time, a Mama Luke is an Italian slang for buffoon. And every day we highlight a Mama Luke. So the Mama Luke for today is us. Mama Luke of the day is the Republican Party. The Republicans like me and you. Because what happened, this happened right under our nose. Because what we were doing, we were fighting each other. You've got prominent conservatives like Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, going at each other's throat. You know, one thing that I always say about us, and I'm proud to say, is that we don't always, Democrats are a cult. We're not a cult. We disagree. Look what happened with Charlie led the charge on this. Epstein files. Thought there were some hinky things going with the Epstein file, and Republicans stood up and said, people like Charlie, and said, whoa, he went to the White House about the Epstein files. So that's what we do. We don't just agree with each other, but there's a difference between disagreeing privately, like we should do, and having healthy conversations, and eating our own. And right now we are eating our own. We're eating each other. You got Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro going at each other. Tyler, you know this. You knew this. I didn't know Nick Fuentes, who is not one of us. I did not know Nick Fuentes until after Charlie Kirk. But all of a sudden, because his name was mentioned, the liberals tried to attach the shooter to Nick Fuentes. All of a sudden, he's appearing on these shows. And look, I have a show. And, you know, my show, I'm going to put who I want on the show. And I don't think that Tucker was wrong by putting Nick Fuentes on the show, but now that has become a big deal. And now what we're doing is while we were fighting each other, the Democrats were beating our asses. And that's what they did last night. They beat our ass because we're sitting here fighting each other. They used that as a strategy. We're more concerned with, I got you. Okay. I know Nick Fredis, and yes, I like Nick Fredis. Okay. Tyler, I didn't want to say anything, but I didn't see how you would like this Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is this guy. Man, he's a bad guy. He's not a he doesn't like anybody. He is just a radical, far right radical guy, and he's just not, he's not a good guy. But you've got people like Ted Cruz, you've got Dan Crenshaw, who I used to like. Man, they're going after Tucker Carlson. They're going after others. You got Mark Levin. People like them. You got Mark Levin. You've got Ted Cruz, and some others. Their biggest concern is Israel. So we're fighting. We are Americans, right? And we're on the Crenshaw, man, that guy ended up being a flake. So we are Americans. Our biggest stance was America first. Then why are we dividing our country, our party, our part? Why are we being divided over Israel? Think about it. Ted Cruz, I've never really cared for Ted Cruz. And let me tell you something, Ted Cruz. The only reason you haven't lost your seat, you're not liked. You almost get beat. You were in a strong Republican seat, and you almost get beat every damn time. You know why? Because nobody likes you. But you're too powerful, and there's too much money behind you to primary you, so a Republican's going to win. But man, he's just teeing off now because of on Tucker, because Tucker fronted him out. Tucker made him look stupid. So while we're doing this, while we're eating each other and fighting our own, the Democrats beat our ass last night. So congratulations to us, Republicans. We are today's Mama Luke of the day. So we have to get back on this. And I woke up this morning. I was going a totally different route with the show this morning. I was going to concentrate more on Mom Dummy and on Omar Feta. Then I woke up and I realized, hey, we need to concentrate on yourself. You need to concentrate. Good morning, Candace. Yes, you're the other Candace. That's the biggest issue right now. Is we're just eating each other, and she's one of the biggest ones. I should have mentioned her, but she is one of the biggest ones. While we are fighting each other, they beat our ass last night. They spanked our little TTs. It was just sickening, but we can only blame ourselves. So I woke up this morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to tee off. I was going to say some of the things that I said on our show. Candace was on our show Sunday night. I was going to say some of those things, but I'm like, you know what? We're going to take ownership in this. I sit here and whine and complain and talk about men dummy and talk about Omar Feta and complain about the Democrats. Or we can own the fact that they owned us. Own the fact that they owned our asses last night. And we better learn from it. Or we're going to get our TT spanked next year. Because I'm going to say it again. I'm going to close with this. If you thought it was about some mayor's races last night, nope. It's about the midterms. And it's about 2028. So better fucking wake up. So remember, until tomorrow, remember this all day today. Republicans, we better remember this. The world doesn't give a fuck. Nobody's coming here to save you. McGee is out. Have a good day.